Badgers 4-5. They've lost 4 of their last 5 with only 4 goals scored in the last 3. Minnesota 2-3-1. 3 goals last night equaled the Gophers total the previous 3 games. And we're underway here in Madison. Badgers in their home white cardinal trim, and the Golden Gophers road maroon and gold trim. And they send out Rem Pitlick with Sampo Rant on the left wing. Tyler Sheehy, co-captain, on the right. You can see the lines on your screen right in front of you, and the puck lobbed into the stands and a stoppage in play 18 seconds in.
And those lines are different than last night. Bob Motzka only has one trio that was the same as last evening. Nathan Burke getting a start on the third line, playing with Sammy Walker and Brandon McManus. There is the first-year Gopher coach, but he juggles each of his 3 lines, still looking to generate some offense.
Yep. And also, there's a shot that just trickled off a stick, goes back over to the far corner. He also made a change defensively. Only 6 defensemen in the lineup tonight. The extra skater last night was a defender. Shot by Sadek, went up into the air, off the netting, and back and off of Lebedev and into the cage. But that puck went off the stick and into the netting. The Gophers, I believe, realized it, but the referees didn't see it.
Right now it's a goal. Referees Brian Aaron and C.J. Berline are going to check the video, but for now, as we saw last night, the goal ruled on the ice. Coach Granato not pleased. Here's the shot. It caroms up.
Nobody knows where it is.
Yeah.
And now here's another view from Andrew Nelson and his crew.
So it comes back behind and then off the skate of Merchant past the surprised Lebedev. And here comes the officials ruling.
Well, wait a minute now. They haven't indicated whether it's a goal or not, and they immediately go over to Tony Granato on the Badgers bench.
And you can see Tony pointing to the netting, saying it caromed off the net behind his goaltender, and then back onto the ice and off the skate of Mersch and into the goal.
Now,
there you can see it's caroming off the netting below our camera. It's Mersch's skate who's back checking and goes in the goal.
Now, there's a good view of this. If you see it again, you can tell from the camera that hangs above the Badgers cage, it's hanging from the top of the protective netting. And as the puck is coming down into the crease before it's kicked into the Wisconsin net, you can see the net fluttering or moving, the camera moving, and that's because the puck had hit the netting and then dropped down to the crease and then got kicked into the cage.
Aaron and Berline going to take another look at it.
How odd this is, for sure. 33 seconds in, this should be a no goal. But if you're Bob Motzko and the Golden Gophers, you'll take whatever they give you. You're not going to have, I mean, you might be a great sport and all that, but you're not going to tell the referee, you know, no, actually it did hit the netting. You know what I mean? They're not going to do that, are they?
No. So, I mean, it's the referee's job to follow the puck.
Right. But as we just saw on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Well, here it is again. Yep. Here comes the shot off the pass.
Into the air. And that's clearly into the net. You can see the net right above the green light, red lights flutter. Clearly went in the netting. And again.
You're right. It's if they get that last shot that we saw, I would think they're going to wipe out the goal.
And this is certainly clear. Yeah, you can see the net move. Yeah, no goal.
And they wipe it out.
Yeah. Wow, that took way too long. Oh well, most everybody in the rink saw it with the 4 guys in stripes.
Yeah, that is their job.
Yes, it is.
So you can see Granato with a sigh of relief.
He was fired up there for a little while.
Yeah. And we're still scoreless. 33 seconds in the game.
Badgers have their top line out. Max Zimmer, Seamus Malone, and Brock Caulfield left to right. Caulfield goes from the right wing on the 4th line to the right wing on the top line. Scored his 2nd goal of the season last night, the first of the game. Up behind the net, Miller can't reach and control. McLaughlin throws one through. A nice play by Lebedev to get the paddle of his stick on it. Here's Ryan Zulsdorf now with Emberson on him. Cycles back for Tommy Novak. Now to Brent Gates. Takes a pop in the back from Keandre Miller. Now Jack Sadek. His shot skipped through the slot. And Zulsdorf will track it down and keep it alive in the attacking zone for Minnesota. And now a backdoor pass, and Sadek stoned by Lebedev. It's loose in the crease and swept out of harm's way by the Badgers. Came free. Novak sets. He shoots one off. Lebedev may have got his right skate on it. Holy smokes, Daniel Lebedev, the freshman from Finland, with 2 huge saves in tight, a minute and a half in.
Gophers with great jump early and some quality chances.
Badgers really struggling to get the puck out of their own zone. Here's Keandre Miller now. Headman's far side. Brock Caulfield rink wide to Ty Emerson, and a sarcastic round of applause from the fans in Cardinal and White as Wisconsin finally moved the puck up to center ice. Now cutting in front, stuff shot. Shearhorn saved on Jack Gorniak. Loose puck. Where is it? Oh, finally collected by Minnesota, and they transition. Here comes Tyler Sheehy. Nice pass to the tape-lip Sadak. Drop pass intended for Ranta behind him. Picked off by Tarek Baker. Badgers with numbers to our left. Baker with it, trailing. Here's the man, Kalnick. Back to Baker. Got it caught up in him. Now loose in front, and Doogie had a chance. So did Gorniak. And a referee is down in the corner, and I hope he's okay. Holy smokes.
On Doogie tending to him and asking for the trainer to come out. And he's in some pain. They're going to tell him to stay down until the training staff, Andy Rohde, the Badger trainer, coming out to assist the fallen referee. I think loses an edge right in front of our camera. Oh, he collides.
Oh. Thankfully, he's got a helmet on, but he went down hard on his left arm and shoulder and remains on the ice as Badgers trainer Andy Rohde will tend to him.
Well, a lot of action early here, though, as racehorse hockey. Gophers come out of the chute with some great chances. You can see they generate 4 shots, half of those grade A chances. Wisconsin comes down the other end, and also with a scramble in front of Shearhorn, and that scramble and the Badgers' good scoring chances interrupted only by the fallen referee. I think it's C.J. Berline, the fallen official.
I think he's going to be helped up now, and we'll see if he's okay. He's really struggling just to roll over on his knees. Yes, C.J. grabbed a cup of coffee in the media room tonight, talking to him about the first goal the Gophers scored last night when Ty Emerson had knocked Tyler Sheehy into Badgers netminder Daniel Lebedev. And he seemed to be in a good mood, and now he appears to be okay. Here's some of the scoring chances, Bill.
Now here's Sadik pinching in from the slot. Lebedev with a save there. Gates right there on the doorstep. And then on the other end, here's Gorniak trying to make something happen. Walks out of the corner, and puck right there on the goal line, but Wisconsin can't convert. So both teams with some early chances, but we're still scoreless. 2:03 into the game.
Wow. I apologize for my voice tonight, folks. I've been talking too much.
You're gutting it out, Phil. Berline's going to gut it out, too. He's staying in, so we'll stay with 2 referees and 2 linesmen.
I think just the initial blow may have knocked the wind out of him, too, because he went down hard. And they're still talking a little bit. Yeah, he's fine. Matt Gerlach, a linesman here a few weeks ago against Michigan Tech, was asked to fill in because of an illness to another linesman. And so Matt, first game in the series, second game in the series against Michigan Tech, actually blew out his MCL and is done for the year. But it looks like CJ is going to be fine. Puck drop to the right of Eric Shearhorn. I mentioned that Matt Robson is 3-0 in his career against Wisconsin with a .948 save percentage. Long range shot towards Shearhorn off his skate to the far side. Shearhorn is 6-4 in his career against Wisconsin at .262 goals against, .911 save percentage, and again a puck directed in front of him slides past him to his left. Badgers have the 4th line out with Matthew Freitag, Jared Zerbel, and Will Johnson left to right. Although actually one of the other forward is Jason Doogie playing the opposite wing of Freitag. Doogie was listed as the extra skater. Will Johnson went from the top line to the 4th line on the line chart.
Yeah, much as Motzko did with his lines. Granato shakes things up on the Badgers forwards lines. And again, Wisconsin playing without Linus Weissbach, their speedy, skilled winger who's missing his 4th game with a hand injury.
Yep, and likely won't be back for a while. Badgers on side. Seamus Malone with it, looks for the open man. Caulfield, slow-moving pass intercepted by Minnesota. Here comes a new man in the lineup for the Golden Gophers, Nathan Burke, the freshman from Scottsdale, Arizona, but Minnesota whistled for offside. And now a little extracurricular activity after the play. You see our impact player of the game. It's brought to you by McFarland's Retail Service Center. Max Zimmer, who assisted on Wisconsin's 2nd goal last night, scored by Wyatt Kalnick, and a heck of a play by Zimmer. Actually 3 successive plays. A block shot, broke a stick, blocked the shot again, and then went skating past the bench with the Badgers in transition. Got a new stick from equipment manager Nate LaPointe, and then set up Kalnick for the game's 2nd goal.
Yeah, LaPointe didn't get an assist on the play, but he should have.
He should very well have.
But Zimmer, I think the heads-up play thanks to the equipment guy, and then at that point it was a big goal. Badgers had a lead and looked to be in control of things.
Puck out to the point. Here's Josh Hess. Sets and fires. Whipped it wide. Gorniak tried to bank it off the goaltender. Loose in the slot. Pitched out of harm's way by McManus. And it came free to the Nanny, the defenseman. Nanny will come in and fire. And a blocker save made by Lebedev. Oh, you kind of knew what Tyler Nanny was going to do. The defenseman just teed one up from the hash marks. And Lebedev with a stop.
He's a great name in Minnesota history. His grandfather Lou is an iconic figure in Minnesota. His dad Marty played for the Gophers, but the Nanny name's been around Minnesota hockey for a very long time.
He originally committed to Ohio State, then transferred to the Gophers. Here's Will Johnson on the ice for the first time. His snapshot went blocker side, or glove side that is, missed the net. And Keandre Miller will have to hustle after him. And Nanny, a 5th-round draft pick of the New York Rangers in 2015. 2-time state champion Eddie Dyna. Badgers turn it over. Ty Emerson works to get it back and able to muscle it out to center. And now Dominic Mersch headmans for Roman Ashan, but too far. Sadek's got it back. Rink wide now. It's Norman across the line, and he whips one towards Badgers goaltender Daniel Lebedev. It was going to go wide, but Lebedev gloved it and hung on. So here's Nanny with a partial break.
You're going to say a lot of racehorse hockey early. They let Nanny go, and he says, okay, and then winds up and lets a bomb go. But lots of chances in the early going. It's been fun to watch. Here's Nanny again, and he just cranks it.
Face-off to the right of Lebedev, won by Wisconsin. Badgers did pretty well in the face-off circle in the first period last night, but really struggled after that. Zulsdorf gets to the puck before Brock Caulfield. Loose now. Zimmer's got it. Goal line right. Max Zimmer. Centering pass. Oh, big save by Shearhorn on Caulfield. Another chance in front. Malone trying to dig it free. Shearhorn's got it in his midsection and wheels into the net. But the whistle had blown, stopping play. And now Malone and Zimmer with Caulfield and McLaughlin hugging one another. And nothing will come of this, just a face-off. But the Badgers get a really good look or two.
Good chance here for the Badgers' newly formed first line. Two good saves by Shearhorn. Caulfield right there in the doorstep. And that's the dislike for one another that fans have paid their money to see in the border battle.
Brock Caulfield had a goal last night, his second of the season. 3 shots on goal, +1. 18 goals, 60 points for the Green Bay Gamblers a year ago. Brock Caulfield. His dad, Paul, the all-time leading scorer in UW-Stevens point history, Division III hockey. 5-time national champs, icing cold on Minnesota. We'll see Cole Caulfield in the Cardinal and White next year after he signs his national letter of intent this month.
He's one of the premier players in the country. Going to come into college next year along with Alex Turcotte and Jack Hughes, all three. The U.S. development team currently, although Turcotte's been bothered by an injury and is not currently playing in the international tournament with Team USA.
Lead feed. Blake McLaughlin's got it, and he puts one towards Lebedev. Made the stop. Rebound. Backhand shot wide by Gates, and Wisconsin's Kalnick has it. Rink wide, bad pass. Kalnick picked off Gates. Open man. Here's McManus. Topo. Actually, that was Tommy Novak, and a good poke check by Inamoto, and then lobbed out to center ice. Tarek Baker sweeps it through the skates of Zulsdorf. Now Sean Doogie with it to the point and S. Open. Shot off a stick. And then off the glass. And Tarek Baker gathers it in. Open man Doogie. Turnaround shot off a stick. Up out of his crouch comes Eric Shearhorn. And he grabs it and hangs on. Awfully interesting start tonight. A goal washed out because it hit the protected netting. One of the referees goes down in a heap. We're scoreless here in Madison. The Badgers and the Golden Gophers. After winning 20 games his first season as head coach, Tony Granado's Badgers won only 14 a year ago, off to a 4-5 start this season. Actually started 3-1, but have dropped 4 out of 5 so far this year.
He showed great patience with this young team, though. And again, losing Weissbach has hurt this club more than they care to admit.
Yeah, he's the fastest player on the team, no doubt. Badgers will be called for icing here. Weissbach, not only the top line left winger, last year had 10 goals, 26 points, but off to a good start this season and was riding a 6-game point scoring streak when he blocked a shot off his right hand in practice a week ago Monday, and didn't play in the North Dakota series or this weekend. Likely won't play at Ohio State next weekend or even Michigan after that.
Yeah, they really miss him on the power play, which has struggled since Weissbach has gone to the DL. But his speed allows Badgers to enter the zone and set things up, and that's been lacking with Weissbach out of the lineup.
Yeah, 0 for 10 on the man advantage without Weissbach last 3 games. Shot by Zerbel, got through. Shearhorn's safe. Rebound was there, but Sheehy's got it. almost had his stick lifted by Matthew Freitag, but Sheehy continues to possess, and here he comes. Tyler Sheehy, a goal, 3 points so far this season. Toe pull shoot. And Miller blocked that one. Pitlick now back behind the net. Nice wheeling pass by Sheehy, who took a tumble, tried to get it to Sampo Ranta, broken up, and now the Badgers' Dominic Mersch has it. He eludes the defenseman. That's Matt Denman, and goes in after the puck and frees it for McMesner. Out to the point now, Ty Emberson back to Miller. He wrists one, and Shearhorn watches sail by. Here's Mesner now, goal line right. 2 open men. He throws it to the point, and Miller. Again, he'll put it back deep. Dominic Mersch wheels one and down with a stick to the ice as Shearhorn steered it to the slot and cleared out by the Golden Gophers. That could be icing if it has enough momentum. They wash it out. About 7 minutes into the first period. No score here in Madison. Badgers had a 1-0 lead after 1 last night. Led 2-0 4 minutes into the second, and then gave up 3 goals in 74 seconds and didn't score again. Sadek to the tape of Sammy Walker's stick. Now Brandon McManus. He toe pulls and fires one. A rising wrister that Lebedev got a piece of. Out to center. Good hustle by Caulfield that chipped it off his teammate's body. And now it's Minnesota's control. And a shot goes off the stick. That sails into the netting. Stopping play. And the fans here give a little sarcastic round of applause to the referees who caught that one going into the net.
Yeah, I think they're fouling the puck a little closer.
A couple more chances for Wisconsin.
This is Miller shooting it wide, but the Badgers on the forecheck. An opportunity from a bad angle. Henry Miller took that shot. First round draft choice of the New York Rangers, and he's been everything as advertised. He's a good player.
Yep. Last night, 4 shots on goal. He was -1, but he leads the team with a +8 ± and shares the team lead with 24 shots on goal. Zimmer maintains possession of the puck. Uncertain where to go with it. Goes to the point. Long range shot. Hits Wisconsin's Seamus Malone. Inamoto holds the zone, at least for a moment. Zimmer trying to dig it free. Eventually Ryan Norman's got it. He scored what proved to be the game-winning goal last night. Did Ryan Norman, and for Norman that was his first goal in 28 games played dating back to last season. They move it out here to Clayton Phillips. The defenseman kicks it to his forehand and kind of fumbles it just a bit. Gophers go to get it. That's Jack Ramsey. Wyatt Kalnick on him. Out to the point, they bank it. Ben Brinkman back to Clayton Phillips, and he'll spin it down deep. And then Norman turned it over to Wisconsin's Tyler Inamoto. Badgers brought Caulfield now with it. Takes his time, waits for a couple of players to come off the bench, so both teams will make changes here on the fly in a scoreless first period at the Kohl Center. Peter Tischke, Tarek Baker, Sean Doogie. Pointless in his last 5 games after scoring 5 goals in his first 4. Tischke lobs it to the corner here. Gophers will get their first. Blake McLaughlin, although slowed by Josh Hess, who is pinching in. Brinkman whips it around and past Jared Zerbalin all the way down. No icing on Minnesota. Badgers back to get it in their own end. Here's Peter Tischke, Badgers team captain. Heading out to Zerbal. His shot blocked, almost back to Zerbal, bouncing around a little bit, kept alive by Tischke. Backhand shot by Wisconsin's Will Johnson, and a quick glove save by Eric Shearhorn. Oh, did Johnson pull the trigger on that backhand quickly?
Well, they're asking that all-senior 4th line to provide some leadership and some energy, and there they did a good opportunity. Backhand, but Shearhorn upped at the task. Again, we talked about the goaltending hand, and Shearhorn came into the year with was the active career leader in wins in the NCAA with 55, including 11 shutouts. That was also the best among active goaltenders in the NCAA. A little more fiery, athletic, according to Yamatska, more aggressive than Robson, who was a nonchalant customer last night.
He was. Made a save with his coconut last night, too, in the 3rd period. And Stone, Roman Ashawn on what could have been the potential game-tying goal in the closing seconds. Brandon McManus, who denied Sean Doogie of a golden opportunity in the 3rd period by blocking a shot or retrieving and using his stick to block the stick of Doogie's stick, and prevented a shot on goal. Now Jason Doogie with a shot steered aside by Shearhorn and picked up now by Minnesota's Walker. He scoots into the offensive end. The puck hit the skate of his teammates, McManus, and then he throws it away. And here's McMesner for the Badgers. Madison native to Roman Ashawn. Savage, Minnesota native. His shot sticked aside by Shearhorn. Mesner tied up by Phillips. Sadik pulls it away from Ashawn. Rem Pitlick now finds an open man, and they come ahead. Here's Tyler Sheehy. Sheehy gets run over by Dominic Mersch. Centering pass popped out to the point, and a shot by Brinkman, and a blocker save made by Lebedev. And Mersch goes after him again, and a penalty coming up now, probably for charging. Mersch wiped out Sheehy originally and then popped him again from behind, and we'll see what the referees decide upon.
Mersch, a big boy at 6 feet, 196 pounds. He got his money's worth the second time for sure. He must not have felt the first was enough.
Yeah. So Mersch came back at him, and I think this will be charging. Wisconsin will be shorthanded. Scoreless first period halfway through in Madison. Wisconsin Badgers have had problems with poor penalties. I'm not sure if this was a poor one, but it's a 5-minute major against Dominic Mersch.
And Mersch is disqualified. So the Gophers will get a 5-minute power play. It's the first man advantage of the game. And here is another look at what was deemed after a video review to be a 5-minute penalty.
Sheehy braces himself after turning and firing the puck around the boards. Mersch hit him hard originally and then came back for more, and Tony Granato doesn't like it. Now Tyler Sheehy last night, I'll say this, he's an excellent player. He's scored a lot of goals and a lot of points for the Minnesota Golden Gophers in his career. But he went down in the Wisconsin net on a hit by Ty Emerson that led to that 3-goal outburst in the second period, and then got hit at the blue line later by Keandre Miller, and both times seemed to go down awfully easily. Now that's a dangerous play along the boards. I certainly understand that. But to change a game so quickly halfway through in the first period, and Tony Granato, that's what he's arguing right now too.
Berline with the call. In defense of Sheehy, he doesn't need defense. That was a savvy play I thought he made last night. And it was that was the play of the game, to be sure. And, you know, he stayed on the goaltender, and Brinkman got his first career goal. Yeah, so I give him credit for making a savvy play last night.
Yeah, some said, too, that Sheehy actually pulled Lebedev down from behind, if you can find the video angle of it. And that was a savvy play by Sheehy, too. He knew that Mersch was coming. He turned as he whipped it around and braced himself enough to not injure himself, thank goodness. But he drew a 5-minute major against Dominic Mersch. So the Badgers, who gave up 5 power play goals against Michigan Tech in a loss here a couple of weeks ago, in which Tarek Baker took a 5-minute major for an elbow to the head. This time Mersch, a 5-minute major for checking from behind, a 10-minute misconduct. Here the Gophers are offside.
Yeah, I mean, that really wasn't a very smart penalty. Mersch got his money's worth in the first hit, then he went back at him and the second hit, and that's where the penalty was assessed. After the video review, they deemed it to be a major, and now the Gophers with 4.5 minutes left in the first power play of the game. They were 1 for 3 with the man advantage last night.
Yeah. I would have to say I dig Sheehy's mustache too.
He's a good player.
He's a very good player. Player of the Year in the Big Ten a couple of years ago. 20 goals, 53 points, first team All-American. Nashville, beg your pardon, undrafted, believe it or not. Now here off the right wing, McManus scores a power play goal, and the Gophers can score as many as they possibly can on this 5-minute major. They take a 1-0 lead on Brandon McManus's blast from the right circle.
Their goal of the year for McManus, the California kid who played at Shattuck. That's a big bomb, and as you say, they score early in the power play, so they'll get a chance to ring it up a little more. Walker takes the zone, and then McManus goes over the shoulder of the goaltender.
Excellent shot by Brandon McManus. Third goal of the year. He had 7 as a freshman a year ago. And so at 11:45, Minnesota's got the lead. Badgers shorthanded, back around behind the net. Wraparound chance by Zerbel. It came off the toe of his stick to the far side wall. Malone tried to win it free. Zerbel pressuring the defenseman, Phillips. And eventually Phillips pulls it free. So assists on the play to Sammy Walker and to Tyler Nanny at 11:45. So 1-0 Minnesota, and the Gophers remain on the power play. Kalnick first to it, and able to roll it around off the glass. It bounced away from Sheehy. Well out of his net comes Eric Shearhorn, and he'll bank it off the end boards for Phillips. And the Gophers, nice breakout. Here's Sheehy up the middle. Tommy Novak. Novak slows, gets some help. Sheehy rolls it around now. First to it, Brock Caulfield to the open man, and Tishke fumbled the puck just a bit. Good pressure by Pitlick. Now to Sheehy. Sweeps it around. Novak reaches to hold his own. Loose near the blue line. Badgers can't get to it to clear. Phillips with it. What's he going to do? He botched it a bit. Now a turnaround shot goes up off the glass. Pitlick, Sheehy. Back to Novak with 3 minutes left on the 5-minute major power play for the Golden Gophers. Phillips, Novak again. Steps in, goes back door. It pops into the air, taking a swing at Tischke, who saved a goal last night by swinging a puck out of midair. And eventually it crawls to the far side corner. Sheehy's got it again. 2:40 left in the power play for Minnesota. 1-0 Gophers. Phillips sets and fires. That's blocked by Caulfield. Long timeout for these penalty killers. Nice work far side by Wisconsin's Josh S. to get engaged with Sheehy, which freed the puck for the Badgers as Sean, and he sends it down.
Much needed clear there.
Fresh penalty killers now. Zerbel and Jason Doogie. Keandre Miller, Ty Emberson. There's McManus. Chipped a pass intended for Ranta. Eventually got through to Sammy Walker. Now McLaughlin. Here's Nanny across the line. His shot blocked by Emberson. He'll give chase in the corner, but the puck released to Walker. Now near side Sampo Ranta. McLaughlin to the point. Nanny quickly far side Walker looking for an open teammate. Finds Nanny. Right wing Ranta's blast went off something. Maybe the stick of Emberson. Miller thought the puck went off the netting. Nothing called. Ranta again to the point. Here's Nanny, and he shanked that shot. Broke his stick in half. He carried it for a little while here. Finally threw it down. Passed through the slot. Then no one home for the Gophers. 1:30 left in the 5-minute power play for Minnesota. Down to the goal line, McManus. Far side Walker. Nice sauce to Nanny, who's got a new stick. And Ranta falls down as he rockets one that missed the nets. 1:15 to go on the power play. Badgers have given up one goal so far in this 5-minute major to Dominic Mersch.
Penalty killing has not been a strength of Wisconsin this year. They're just 31 of 44 in penalty killing situations.
72% on the PK, but Badgers have killed off 16 of their last 19 after giving up 5 power play goals to Michigan Tech a couple of Saturdays ago. Here's Tarek Baker, pitches a backhand shot that's denied by Shearhorn. And the Gophers with 45 seconds left on the man advantage. Ryan Norman with Korniak in pursuit. Drops it far side, and the Gophers will work it off the left wing wall. Here's Denman to Sadak. Back to Denman. Backpedals and shoots. That's blocked by Baker. Kalnick, good hustle. Gets to it and banks it down. So Mersch was trying to fire up his teammate to the crowd with those back-to-back hits on Sheehy, but the second one got him in trouble and into the locker room. Maybe this penalty kill will get the fans engaged. 4:45 left in the first. Badgers down 1-0. 15 seconds left on the power play from Minnesota, and the Badgers able to nudge it out through center. I would almost consider this a success, Bill, wouldn't you?
And as quick as the Gophers scored, you kind of were going, uh-oh, but yeah, if they can kill this one off, they'd have to feel good, and this penalty's over.
McLaughlin, cross ice he goes. With it, Novak to the goal line. And Ramsey, and Gates made a bad pass and taken away by Tischke. So the Badgers back at full strength, although minus Dominic Mersch. They'll skate with 18 skaters, as has been the case in college hockey for years until this season, when the NCAA allowed teams to suit up 19 skaters. It's not like the coaches haven't gone through this before. It's just that Dominic Mersch, third-line centerman, had been playing pretty well and one of the physical presence on the Wisconsin hockey team. 1-0 Minnesota. McLaughlin tries to wheel through traffic, lost the puck, pulled free by Tischke. He got rid into the end boards by McLaughlin, but we play on. Out to the point now, it's Brinkman. Right side, Zulsdorf shoots one. Oh, bobbled there by Wisconsin's Lebedev. He's down on his belly. Where's the puck? Eventually the whistle blows. So Lebedev tried to corral it in his midsection, dropped it, and there was a mad scramble. Novak and McLaughlin knocked down. Brent Gates right there, actually. Lebedev able to corral it under his body, and eventually got the stoppage in play. So Minnesota did score on a 5-minute power play. Brandon McManus at 11:45, but now the Badgers. Nope, we're going to have matching liners. Back here in a moment at the goal center. Here's new Minnesota head coach Bob Motzko. Won his first Big Ten game last night, his first Big Ten game ever. Now with career win number 277.
He was happy to get a win, and a road win was even more special to him. And he said we needed to win a game, snapping a 3-game losing streak.
Matching minors to Wisconsin's Peter Tischke and Minnesota's Blake McLaughlin at 16:24 roughing after the whistle. So 4-on-4 for the next couple of minutes. Oh, nice play by Miller. Knifed the puck free. Wisconsin's Caulfield with it. Topol. He'll shoot one off the side of the nets. Miller chased it down. Took a pretty good bump from Phillips. Lost the handle on the puck, and now Sheehy's got it. He'll sweep it back around for Phillips. Malone, Caulfield, Emerson, Miller for Wisconsin. Phillips, Nanny, Sheehy, and Pitlick for Minnesota. Collision at center ice. Caulfield and Minnesota's Phillips. And they're going to take Phillips for interference. He doesn't like it. Did you see it clearly? I did not. I was watching the puck.
That was the penalty du jour last night. We had 5 interference calls, and that's the first interference call tonight. I think it was a good call, but it gives the Badgers a power play chance, and they didn't do much with the man advantage last night. In fact, they only generated 1 shot on goal in 4 man advantages.
8 full minutes, 1 shot on goal. 0 for 10 in their last 3 power play chances, or 0 for 10 in their last 3 games on the power play, I should say, after scoring 3 power play goals against Michigan Tech.
Of course, that man was happy with the work of his penalty killers. But the Badgers need to get their power play going.
Sean Doogie, Seamus Malone, Wyatt Kalnick, Keandre Miller. Puck dropped, and then a whistle blows, and they'll kick Sheehy out of the faceoff circle, and instead, they're going to have defenseman Jack Sadek take it. Sadek, 7th round pick of the Minnesota Wild, lost the draw, and Wisconsin's Kalnick to Miller. Goal line Malone. Seamus Malone scoots his way to the left wing. Seamus Malone, what's he going to do? Sets up Kalnick's shot. That was blocked by Sadek. Good play. Good play all the way around. Sadek read it and made the defensive stop. Now here's Doogie. Kalnick thought about a one-timer. 5 goals for Wyatt. Shares the team lead with Sean Doogie. Now Miller's shot knocked Sadek down. Patiently Malone tried to go back door. Loose puck off a skate or 2. Diving Sheehy can't clear. Wisconsin's Kalnick can't put it up. And then Zulsdorf tied up by Doogie, and his clearing pass not strong enough, and the Badgers. Malone holds it for Miller. Kalnick 4-on-4 for 45 more seconds. Nearing the end of the first period, 1-0 Gophers. Kalnick works it free, low right. Backdoor for Doogie, didn't get to him. Kalnick, though, able to chase it down left wing. Wyatt Kalnick, the only Canadian on the Wisconsin roster, to Miller. His shot right into the body of Sadek, who just needs to get off the ice. Now, he's taken 3 or 4 block shots here.
A heck of a job.
Yes, he has. Oh, shit, got through. Sean Doogie directed the shot by Kalnick and in. A 4-on-4 goal, and it's 1-1.
Actually, it's a 4-on-3, but Doogie with the tip, and each team has a power play goal, and we're back to even to get the power play alive and tie the game. I think the puck was redirected in front as you look at Kalnick, but he's the quarterback on that unit, and much need to go. Kalnick took the shot, but Doogie's right there creating havoc as he likes to do. Yeah. And I think he got his stick on it, redirected it back the goaltender Shearhorn.
So Sean Doogie, his 6th goal of the season, his first point in 6 games. The sophomore forward from Aurora, Illinois, gets the Badgers on the board. A power play goal at 16:52. So a 4-on-3 power play goal for Wisconsin. My apologies. Not 4-on-4. You have to count the goaltender like Bill Howard always does, but then it would be 5-on-4. By the way, Bill Howard last night, the Badgers' longtime goaltenders coach, said first team to 3 would win, and of course he texted me this morning to tell me he was right. So hope you're enjoying the telecast here tonight, Bill. Look forward to your criticism. Here's Phillips. Finds an open space and shoots one. Oh, it went off something and ricocheted to the near side. Daniel Lebedev, when he tries to glove the puck, he kind of snaps at it, reaches at it. Now the puck is loose. Jack Korniak, Romenko played it from him. 1:10 left in the first. It's a 1-1 game here in Madison. And Kalnick goes to get it now for the Badgers. Wyatt Kalnick could really scoots. That assist gives him 11 points now this season. He had 25 as a freshman last year. Bouncing around a little bit. Brinkman's got it. And Inamoto cuts off his path. And now Kalnick back in his own end with 45 to play in the first. Long range Brinkman hammers it back in. Inamoto takes a peek over his left shoulder. Reverses course to Kalnick. With backhand sauce to Brock Caulfield. Taps ahead Max Zimmer. Zimmer across the line. Open man Malone left wing. He'll try to go backdoor instead of shooting. And it went off his skate. And Shearhorn out on his knees. Covers it up with his mitts. 26.2 seconds left. So Doogie's goal from Kalnick. And Keandre Miller gives Wisconsin that 1-1 tie with the Gophers here in the last half minute of play.
Pretty wide open first period. Lots of chances you see by the shots. Each team with a power play goal. Kind of get the impression the Badgers needed that in a big way.
No kidding.
Just to give some confidence to a power play unit that has struggled in the last 2 weeks.
Fourth line out now. Freitag, Zerbel, Jason Doogie. Badgers win the faceoff. Around below the goal line now. It's Doogie out to Emerson. Refeeds deep. Clock winding down. 15 seconds. Number 15, Matthew Freitag. To the point, Miller sidesteps Gates, gets to the dot, puts it down low. 7 seconds. Doogie, open man Freitag, snapshot blocked, and it goes to the far corner. 1 second, and that'll do it. Well, Minnesota scored a power play goal on a 5-minute major that knocked Dominic Mersch out of the game. The Badgers respond with a 4-on-3 power play goal from Sean Doogie. So a pretty entertaining first period here in Madison. Wisconsin 14 shots on goal, Minnesota 13. It's a 1-1 hockey game so far, Bill.
Right up and down, and we like race-off hockey. I don't know if the coaches like it, but the fans certainly do, and we got an entertaining one. You can see Tony Granato again continuing the conversation with C.J. Berline. I don't think it's asking about C.J.'s health, even though he took a spill there and delayed the game for a couple minutes. But each team scored with the power play, and we're even after one in the border battle.
Yep. So again, McManus from Walker and Nanny on the power play at 11:15, and then Doogie from Kalnick and from Keandre Miller at the 18-minute mark. And the Badgers, ice cream here at the Kohl Center tonight. Badgers, the Gophers, all even at 1. Pitlick and Mesner take the opening face-off of the period. 14 shots on goal in the first for the Badgers, 13 for the Gophers. Both goaltenders made some pretty good stops in that opening period, but could not stop McManus's power play goal. Could not stop Sean Doogie's redirected Wyatt Kalnick shot. Jason Doogie dumps it in. Mesner gives chase. Sadek had it poked off his stick by Doogie. Now it bounces free, and Jack Sadek's got it. And now here's Ryan Zulsdorf for Minnesota. Headman Staranta lost the puck. Zulsdorf took a pretty good hit from Roman Ashan. Jason Doogie now. His pass deflected by Pitlick to the stick of Zulsdorf. To his knees, tries to headman Taranta. Got it there slowly. Now Pitlick trailer. Sheehy shot. Save made by Wisconsin goaltender Daniel Lebedev. He hangs on for his 13th save of the night.
By juggling lines, it seems Coach Motzkow has loaded up this one line of Ranta, Pitlick, and Sheehy. They can really go. There's the stats from the first period. A wide open session. Featured the DQ to Mersch, which causes the double-digit penalty minutes for Minnesota, or for Wisconsin.
And Novak out with Gates to his left, McLaughlin to his right. Check on the near side wall. McLaughlin down to the goal line. Novak walks in on Lebedev. Centering pass off a skate right in the blue paint. Badgers eventually get it out of harm's way. Malone. Stick from behind by McLaughlin, who fights it through to the slot, but Novak can't collect it. Back to the Minnesota zone it goes. Phillips now, the defenseman. Pittsburgh Penguins 3rd-round draft choice. A couple of years ago, up to McLaughlin now. Like this young man, 3rd-round pick by Anaheim in 2018. Phillips whistles one wide on a feed from McLaughlin. And now Novak's got it right wing. Give and go with Gates. Actually came out to the point. Phillips sets and shoots, and that went off the stick of Novak, who had backpedaled through the slot and redirected it wide. Badgers can't catch the loose puck. Malone now takes a look and chipped it not strongly enough, and then taking a digger. Novak that freed the puck for Jack Gorniak. 1-on-2. And then he mishandles the puck, and the Gophers now have it in transition. Sammy Walker, he can fly. Drop pass now. McManus. Pass back to Walker. Intercepted by Wisconsin's Inamoto. Here comes the Badgers' Sean Doogie. Inamoto feels the lane, and Doogie's shot goes off the blocker of the goaltender, Eric Shearhorn, who in the first period made 13 saves. In one game, couple of power play goals in the first period. Inamoto tries to shoot off the stick. Look out, dangerous play. Inamoto pinch leading to a 3-on-1. Gates has it. Backdoor Walker saw his pass off his skates. It just bounced and kind of handcuffed him a bit, and Walker kicked it wide of the mark. Now Denman, open man straight away. Tyler Nanny, shot redirected, and Lebedev saw it hit the paddle of his stick and sent it to the near corner. Badgers able to get it out to center. Inamoto made a mistake on the near wall here and led to an odd man rush for the Gophers.
And the wide open play of the first period continues in the first 3 minutes of this session.
Yeah. Well, Johnson now for the Badgers. Dangerous pass, but across to Kalnick. Head man's now to Zerbal. And it goes bouncing into the Minnesota zone. Gophers there first, and around to Nathan Burke, playing his second career game with the Gophers, the Scottsdale, Arizona native, number 21. Here's puck. Yes, goes shoulder to shoulder with Nanny, knocking him to the ice. And now the defenseman Matt Denman with it. Brings two Badgers his way, and now Nanny up the gut to Burke, and he'll redirect into the Wisconsin zone. Tischke whips it around to the stick of Freitag. Aaron pass somehow got through to Zerbal, and then batted away from him. And the Gophers, Romenko overskates. Tischke shoots one off of Romenko's stick. Ramsey couldn't catch it. Norman did. Badgers, did they have too many men on the ice? Nothing called. Zerbal then hip checked into the Badger bench by Romenko lightly. Now the Gophers have it. Both teams had made a change recently. And now the Badgers steal, and it comes free. Here's Jason Doogie. Backhand pass off the stick of Zuhlsdorf. And then Doogie lost an edge, went down into the end boards, and here comes Minnesota's Ryan Norman. Finds Romenko's shot, save made. Lebedev, rebound, he stopped Ramsey's try too. Excellent rush that time by Minnesota as Norman set up two of his teammates basically.
That's the only line that stayed the same as last night. He had a great chance.
Yep, Romenko's shot stick to side by Miller. Out to the point, Zuhlsdorf. His shot off the stick of Jason Doogie. To the near side, Miller reaches and taps ahead for Doogie. Tries to refeed Miller. The Badgers onside of Sean. Backpedals, open man. Mesner shoots. That's blocked. Here comes Minnesota now. Jack Ramsey late in his shift. He'll continue though. Off he comes Norman, and a glove save made by Wisconsin's Lebedev. He hangs on.
Norman had the game winner last night. Takes a feed from Jack Ramsey, whose dad Mike played on the gold medal winning Olympic team in 1980. And another nice save by Lebedev. But again, we're going end to end.
Loving it too. Face-off coming up to the right of Daniel Lebedev. Here's a chance for Romenko that was blocked. Badgers got their way in this, not in their way a number of times on that shift. And now the second line on the chart out, Ranta, Pitlick, and Sheehy left to right.
And I think most coaches would say this is their first line.
Oh yeah.
Sheehy with 45 career goals, Pitlick with 29, and Ranta, a highly touted rookie who committed to Wisconsin and playing left wing right here.
Yeah, I like this young man. And Inamoto got his stick in on Ranta, poked the puck free, but slowed his progress. They'll say hooking on Inamoto. And so Minnesota is going to get a power play with a 1-1 tie so far.
I'm not crazy about the call. As you can see, third power play chance of the night for Minnesota, who has scored its only goal with the man advantage.
Well, that time it looked like Ranta had the angle around Inamoto, and Tyler reached in and slowed his progress, poked the puck away, but enough where actually the blade of his stick appeared to get into the hands of Ranta, and that's a no-no.
Ranta's a talented kid, 6'2", 205. He can really shoot it. He stayed well too.
Yep. Originally committed to Wisconsin in October of 2016 and decommitted in August, and made a phone call to Minnesota, and the Gophers answered and said, sure, come on over. A gift is what Bob Motzko called it.
He couldn't be more pleased to have Ranta in his locker room. He's a great kid.
Josh S., who was a stoppage because the puck had crawled up in his sweater, so they had to get it out of there. And now we play on with this Minnesota power play. 1 for 2 so far. That came on a 5-minute major to Dominic Mersch. Pitlick sets and shoots. That goes off the stick up high into the air. Now it's Phillips at the left point. Novak. Open Pitlick. Look out in front. Redirect Sheehy. Missed the net. Chipped it wide. Open man Novak. Can't get his stick on the puck. And an errant pass picked off by Baker. Or actually more so directed away by Baker down to the Minnesota zone. Oh, the Gophers had two wide open men that time and just couldn't connect the dots.
Pretty passing play, but they couldn't finish.
Here comes Phillips again for Minnesota. Sends it off to Sheehy. Whips it across the ice, and the first man there, the Badgers, Ty Emberson. Good play by Phillips at the blue line to keep it in the zone. Doogie tried to knock him out. No luck. Here's Novak back to Phillips. Phillips. Oh, poke check by Wisconsin's Jason Doogie. Nice penalty kill by number 23, Jason Doogie.
A much needed clear, allowing both teams to change personnel.
There's Novak again. 40 seconds left in the Minnesota power play. Miller trying to get physical with him, and he forced Novak into a turnover. Roman Ashan with Jared Zerbel. Back checking is Blake McLaughlin. Zerbel in deep, and eventually Sheehy pulled it free, and now Pitlick with a head of steam. And Pitlick drop pass slot. Here's Sheehy's shot, blocked by Wisconsin's Roman Ashan, and then Sheehy two-handed slashed him down. A penalty on Sheehy as Minnesota will go get the puck. So the Gophers with 12 seconds left on their power play now over as Sheehy gets a 2-minute minor for slashing.
And a good penalty by the captain. Played four-side for 12 seconds, and then the Badgers, who scored on their last power play chance, will get yet another man advantage.
Sheehy's shaking his head down in the penalty box. Can't believe a penalty was called against him, but he two-handed Sean down. So the Badgers will get a power play in 12 seconds or so. Bob Motzko, his team, the most penalized team in the country, will be facing a penalty kill in just a few moments. Tyler Sheehy, 111 points in his 118-game Gopher career, and his 20th penalty, a 2-minute minor for slashing at 6:35. So the Badgers will have a power play here in a matter of seconds. Malone, right corner Doogie. Badgers just kind of possessing the puck until they get the additional man on the power play. Inamoto quickly across the ice, and Malone coughed it up at the blue line. Look out, potential shorthanded bid Remenko, although Kalnick able to overpower him with his speed and get the puck back. Although Remenko trying to use his size to retrieve the biscuit, and eventually it comes to Wisconsin's Max Zimmer. Remenko, Ramsey, those guys have watched them play for 4 years, and they're heart and soul guys, fourth liners, penalty killers. They know their job and they do it real well.
Remenko, a good penalty killing shift just comes on.
Yep, 103rd straight game for Remenko. Ramsey has played a long time. This is 112th game of his career. Malone to the point, Kalnick, and his wrister got through. Shearhorn made the save and then nonchalantly dropped the rebound, but it was batted to the near side wall. Doogie tied up. Loose puck still. Doogie gets the angle on Sadek and able to play it to the near side wall. Malone eventually to Miller, who just throws it to open ice, and that allows Sadek to get to it, and he banks it all the way down.
Motzko is pleased at his club penalty killing effort last night. As you said, they had so many penalties. He said we should have been good at it. We've had a lot of practice. But they held the Badgers to one shot on goal in 4 power plays last night.
Yeah, 85% on the penalty kill this season prior to tonight's game. And before the Badgers scored on the power play in the first period, the Gophers had killed off 21 of the previous 23 power plays against during a 4-game span. The Badgers' first power play goal in 4 games. They had been 0 for 10 in the previous 3 without Linus Weissbaum. Josh Hess holds the zone. Badgers just not getting anything set up, though, in this power play at all. 5 seconds left. Now they've got a chance as open man right wing Baker to the slot. Pass too hot to handle for Jack Korniak, and it's cleared down, and out of his penalty box comes Sheehy, and look out, Lebedev flipped it to the near side. Thankfully for Wisconsin, Emberson was skating strongly enough to prevent Gates from getting there first to throw one on net. And now it's pitched out to the point, and Phillips quickly right side. Nanny steps in, thought about passing, went off a stick, bounces around. Lebedev on his knees and hands elects to cover it up with 11:03 left in the second period. So the Badgers now 0 for 2 on the power play. Minnesota 1 for 3 in a 1-1 game.
The crowd was just told in the last stoppage that University of Wisconsin announced last week that Mark Johnson's number will be retired. There's the current number 10, Ty Emberson. On February 9th, Emberson will give up that number, and they'll raise number 10 to the rafters in honor of Mark Johnson, who scored a goal game, 125 goals in 125 games during his 3-year Badger career. Emberson will wear 26 after February 9th. No one ever will wear number 10 again.
That's what Tony Granato said for sure. The plan was, apparently, Tony Granato wanted to make the announcement about Mark Johnson's number retirement. Here's the Badgers on the rush, and the puck goes off the stick of Freitag into the protective netting, stopping play. They wanted to announce it at the Badger Hockey Backers luncheon yesterday, and Tony asked Mark Johnson and Leslie, his wife, to come to the luncheon, wanted to have the media all gathered there and make the formal announcement to longtime Badger fans. Well, Mark said, you know, sorry, I'm not going to be there. You know, Mark doesn't like all the hype anyway, the publicity. He said he and his wife were going to go to Minnesota so they could watch their daughter Megan play hockey for Augsburg. I would have to say he made the right choice, Bill, because Megan scored the first 2 goals of the season last night in Augsburg's 6-2 win over Bethel. Good for Megan.
And good for Mark. He's a humble guy. And again, as you see, his dad, Bob.
Oh, look out. Puck bouncing around. Oh, Freitag denied in tight. Maybe too close that time. It's just kept pinballing around before Freitag's chance. Go ahead.
But no, Mark's number now will be over at the Bob Johnson rink, and how cool is that?
That's awesome. Here's Will Johnson. His shot blocked off a stick from his knees. Delayed penalty coming up on Minnesota. Johnson was tied up as he tried to get to the Gophers' net, and Wisconsin will get a power play with 10:13 left in the second period. Badgers getting good work that time from that senior line you mentioned, Bill. Matthew Freitag, Jared Zerbel, and Will Johnson.
Well, again, they're looking for leadership from that group, and they've, in sparing play tonight, apparently they've been used, but when on the ice, they've been pretty good. They force a penalty here. Badgers go on the man advantage for the 3rd time. As we saw the last 5-on-4, though, Wisconsin just haven't been able to game the zone and set anything up on the power play. They scored 4-on-3, and that's why we're even right now, but 5-on-4, been a different story in this border battle this weekend.
Tony Granato with some instructions, and Daniel Lebedev had gone to the Badger bench for the delayed penalty, and equipment manager Nate LaPointe had to do a little work on Lebedev's equipment, but Daniel's back in between his goal posts, and now the puck will be dropped to the right of Eric Shearhorn. Shearhorn, who made his 100th career start with the Gophers last Saturday in a 2-1 loss to Minnesota, is playing in his 104th game here tonight. You mentioned 55 wins for Shearhorn during his career, 11 shutouts for Eric Shearhorn as well. Kalnick drops back Caulfield, and now Keandre Miller alone is on the right wing, hoping to receive the pass, and an aerial feed, or a clear that time by the Gophers, right to Malone, to Miller, who tried to drag it past Remenko into the slot, but no luck there. And now Kalnick with Ramsey immediately on him. Puck into the air. Badgers win it free. So Wisconsin comes up the ice with speed and then drops back, and trying to send it into the zone and work it around to a wing and get them to set up that way. Now Malone will walk it across, but immediately the Gophers converge on them. Tony Granato said, you know, teams are pressuring us more on the power play, and they've got to work through it somehow. So some personnel changes with Brock Caulfield now on the far wing. Caulfield's got the gift of hands, and now Miller tries to set up Zimmer in front. He works through that stick check or two. Malone to Kalnick. Back to Malone, his one-timer, and that missed the net. They're using Miller now in the slot between the circles. And now here's Caulfield, backdoor intended for Malone. Good sliding play by the Gophers. Goes off the stick and out to center ice. Wyatt Kalnick patiently with it. Remenko needs a change on the penalty kill anyway. Doogie wants the puck. Kalnick will continue with it. Then Doogie runs into his teammate Baker, and then Kalnick blows a tire. Malone then can't pick up the puck, and the Gophers clear it all the way down. Goodness. They were very good on the power play when the season began. It's amazing how one man out of the lineup can make things look so much different.
But that has been the case since Weissbach went down.
Weissbach works off the left wing. Excellent vision, fantastic speed, good hands. Gophers have the puck. That's it for Wisconsin's power play. So both teams are 1 for 3 tonight on the man advantage. Still a 1-1 game. 8 minutes to play. Second period at the Kohl Center.
And again, tip your hat to Minnesota's aggressive
Yes.
penalty killing style. They have certainly bottled Wisconsin up 5-on-4 this weekend.
Yep. And now the puck is going to slide all the way down in the Minnesota zone. Badgers get a change here. You know, the Gophers are 7-1-1 in their last 9 games here at the Kohl Center.
In fact, if they win tonight, it would be a first. Never in a 10-game span has Minnesota ever won 8 games against Wisconsin.
In Madison. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Whether it be here or at the Coliseum
or
Hartmeyer, right? Oh, a shot goes off the near side pipe, off the stick of Brent Gates Jr. Didn't look like much as he gained the zone, but then backpedaled a little bit towards the Big Ten logo, and Gates, the senior from Grand Rapids, Michigan, leaned into that snapper, and it hit some iron. Still 1-1 here at the Kohl Center. Fans trying to get the Badgers fired up here. A 1-1 game, Wisconsin and Minnesota. Gophers going for a series sweep after a 3-2 come-from-behind win last night. Matthew Freitag, Jared Zerbel, Will Johnson back out for the Badgers. Tony Granato liked what he saw the last time they were on the ice. Puck pops up towards Bob Motzko. He's looking for someone to give it to. Somebody probably in Gopher colors, and he flips it into the ground.
Dennis, we talked about this last night. Been a strange season for the Gophers schedule-wise. This is the first time they've ever played back-to-back games this season in the same town.
Yeah.
They opened with a home-and-home series with Duluth, a split. Went to Vegas to play North Dakota. The Fighting Hawks won. Played Mankato home-and-home last weekend, and the Mavericks, who were one of the top 5 teams in the country, swept the Gophers, and now they're here. But what a strange start. And then they go and play a non-conference series next weekend against St. Lawrence.
Jason Doogie shoots one tough angle, and Shearhorn made the save. Miller was going hard to the net. I'm not sure if Jason knew he had reinforcements. It almost developed into a 3-on-1. But Shearhorn made the save. After Miller poked it ahead, he went straight to the net, and Jason was eyeing up Shearhorn. Actually a good back check that time by Minnesota's extra skater tonight, Garrett Waite, the freshman from Edina.
Yeah, Rossini out of the lineup tonight.
Right. You were talking about Minnesota's schedule. Wisconsin will go on the road back-to-back Big Ten series at Ohio State and Michigan, and then 8 straight at home, 4 before the Christmas break, Penn State and Michigan State, then 2 after Christmas break against Denver, an exhibition against the U.S. under-18 team, then a single game at the Kohl Center against Notre Dame January 18th, and then against Notre Dame at the United Center in Chicago January 20th. Badgers only play 7 home games from the start of January to the start of March. 7 home games in a 2-month span in the second half of the season. Icing now on Minnesota.
But the conference season is on now for Wisconsin. And it's, after splitting the first 8, there you can see the next 5 games for the Badgers. We'll have that Penn State game here on TV for you on Fox Sports Wisconsin. But it's a big stretch of the season for Wisconsin. That's why I don't know if there is such thing as a big game in November, but they could use a W in a big way with 4 straight conference games coming up.
Penn State now 8-1. Shellacked Robert Morris 11-6 today. Notre Dame up 6-2 at Michigan. Also tonight, Arizona State a 1-0 lead on Michigan State. The Sun Devils won their 8th game last night, beating the Spartans 5-4. They had only 8 wins a year ago. And Ohio State completed a sweep of Colgate on the road with a 1-0 win. Back-to-back shutouts for the Buckeyes goaltenders Sean Romeo and Tommy Apier. Badgers in Columbus next weekend. Oh, a slow-moving pass by Doogie for Baker actually got through, and Shearhorn almost let it go underneath the paddle of his stick. Now a loose puck. Doogie reaches for it, bouncing around. Free. Gorniak backhand, a whistle, and a hand pass call. And a stoppage in play. 5:57 left here in the second. A 1-1 game.
Yeah, you talk about the Big Ten, and there are 3 Big Ten teams in the top 10 of the USCHO rankings this week. This is the latest chance by Badgers.
Yeah, now I don't know why that's a hand pass. Baker jumped into the air and it went off his hand, and it happened to trickle to the near circle, you know, and that's not the referee's fault. It goes off a hand. It's not supposed to happen, but nevertheless, that's not a pass. It's just a deflection. But you can continue with your thought there, Bill. So.
No. I was just talking about the Big Ten well represented in the national rankings. These teams ranked 14th and 20th, or 16th and 20th respectively, but 3 Big Ten teams in the top 10.
Oh, a turnover. Shearhorn almost kicked it into his own net. Good forechecking by Will Johnson. Out to the point they go. Miller to Ty Emerson. Emerson looking for his first collegiate goal. His shot was blocked. Freitag took a swing and a miss. Now backhands it into the offensive zone, keeping it alive for Will Johnson. With Jared Zerbel as well. Swept around near side. Johnson dives to try to keep it in play unsuccessfully, and now he'll head to the Badger bench for a change with about 5 minutes left here in the period. That line has done an excellent job for the Badgers. Now here comes Jason Doogie. Doogie with Mesner. His drop pass, Mesner's shot went off a shin pad out to the point. Tischke now through, and it actually hit the inside right leg of Jason Doogie, who just chopped at the defenseman Matt Denman, and Doogie's going to get a penalty. Although Nanny will play keep away for the time being on this delayed penalty, as Shearhorn came out of his net for an extra attacker. So Wisconsin's Jason Doogie is going to get the gates. Well, Badgers had some chances with their fourth line, and then Doogie comes out just trying to make something happen. Here's Will Johnson's chance on Eric Shearhorn, but Wisconsin will be shorthanded in just a... Well, here's the penalty on Jason Doogie. What do you think, Bill?
Well, we're calling him close, and we should point out there is now only one referee, C.J. Berline, who was injured in that first period collision, has not refereed this period. So Brian Aaron is the lone referee with Nicholas Bradshaw and Sam Schakowsky. They're in a one-man system with two linesmen.
So the penalty on Wisconsin, Jason Doogie slashing at 15-11. 3 straight slashing penalties. One on Sheehy, another on Pitlick, and then Doogie now. Oh, a pass in front. Gates right there. Got the blade of his stick on that feed. Badgers then cleared, but Phillips, or at least attempted to. Phillips kept it alive. Pitlick's past Gates, swung and missed, and now a shot in front. Look out, Pitlick. Oh, diving stop either by Lebedev or Tarek Baker. Loose puck rolls to the left of the goal cage, and now out to the point. Here's Phillips. He'll shoot one. That's blocked by Wisconsin's Ashawn. Tried to drag it out of the zone. No luck. Sheehy's got it left wing. Gophers trying to regain the lead. 4 minutes to go here in the second period. Tyler Sheehy to Clayton Phillips. Swings it far side to Novak now. Sheehy's open, but I'm not sure Novak can get him the puck. Good stick work by Ashawn, and skating over Josh Hess to send it all the way down. And Shearhorn will leave off Sheehy, Pitlick, Phillips, Sampo Ranta, McLaughlin out there right now. Kalnick, Inamoto, Gorniak, and Caulfield, the penalty killers for Wisconsin. 2 sophomores in the back end, 2 freshmen up front. Inamoto cuts underneath Ranta and pins the puck along the kick plate. Popped free, and Pitlick's got it. Gorniak is just as fast as Rem Pitlick and kept whacking at him and winning the puck free for Caulfield. 2-on-2 shorthanded. Caulfield with it, tries to sauce it in front, and it goes towards Shearhorn. He stops it. Gorniak went right at it, and Shearhorn had to cover it up, and then Sheehy took exception to Gorniak's speed at the Gopher cage.
Gorniak's speed very apparent in that last shift, and forced to stop it down by Shearhorn. Here's the action on the other end. An opportunity there for Pitlick, and a shot blocked by Tischke.
Yeah.
A scramble and shot blocked there by S, doing their jobs to help out their goaltender.
Yeah. The Wisconsin wrestling coach Chris Bono might recruit Tischke or Baker or Lebedev after that scrum. They were all over the place. And Peter Tischke one time blocked 11 shots in a game at Minnesota a couple of years ago. Up on the near side with 18 seconds left in the Minnesota power play. Ranta tried to pull the puck around or through Mesner and lost it. Walker then sent it down to the corner with help from Sampo Ranta. 6 seconds left on Jason Doogie's penalty, and the Badgers tie Emerson. Didn't realize there was someone behind him, almost coughed it up, and then sends it out through center. The Badgers get the job done on the penalty kill. Gophers now 1 for 4 on the power play. 1-1 here late second period.
And 2 for 7 in the weekend with the man advantage.
We were talking before, just a little bit ago, about the Big Ten Conference, and Tony Granato spoke with Bill Brophy about that. We'll hear from Tony coming up in the second intermission. And also, Tony will chat a bit about Mark Johnson's number retirement. And Tony was a big factor in the reason that Mark's number 10 will be the first hockey player's jersey number in the Kohl Center rafters. Badgers win the puck. Doogie alone tried a one-timer and only hit the heel of his stick after it was Tischke, but Romanko able to poke it past him. Romanko takes a peek looking for help. Ramsey was down the slot, but he was covered. Near side wall, pitchforked out by Sean Doogie and into the crowd with 1:57 left in the second period. Shots on goal, you see. Minnesota's got the edge, but a 1-1 game here in Madison. And that's awfully nice. Badger fans going to give it to a young fella. Very cool.
Named Anderson. There is, you can see Doogie being helped to the bench, and Andy Hiroti, the Badger trainer, going to check on the Badgers' top goal scorer this season, the guy who has the only goal of the night for Wisconsin.
It's the 6th of the year. At the 18-minute mark of the first period. And
like a shoulder problem for the sophomore winger.
Andy Hiroti, the Badgers trainer, is taking a feel. I'm sure originally you're thinking, okay, collarbone or something like that, but you can tell that Sean Doogie is in some serious pain.
And I think he's going right to the locker room right now.
Yep. Nate LaPointe and the Badger coaching staff now up on the top of the bench to yell at the referees. And Doogie will head off as he's got an issue with his right shoulder, and Andy Rohde will follow. So already without Dominic Bursch, who took a 5-minute major at the 10:32 mark of the first period and was kicked out of the game. And now Doogie will go to the locker room, and we may see him in the third period. We'll find out. Tischke lobbed it out the center. Good hustle by Wisconsin's Malone to get onside. Will Johnson, Max Zimmer. Johnson's played so well tonight now that Tony Granato's put him up on the top line, back with the line mates he'd had all season long, Seamus Malone and Max Zimmer.
I think he might have sent a message.
Oh, certainly.
By juggling lines tonight.
Yeah. Although Will does have 3 goals, 6 points this season. He only had 1 shot on goal last night, but in last Saturday's game at North Dakota, he scored 1 of the 2 goals, had 3 shots on goal. It swept down to the Minnesota zone, and actually Johnson tried to help it along or make contact with the puck, but they'll say Wisconsin has iced it, so a face-off of the Badgers end with 1:15 to play.
Badgers getting a little thin at forward with Weissbach out. Now Dookie's out. Mersch has been asked to leave at the DQ, so they're down 3 major contributors the first 10 games of the season.
Andy Rohde, the team trainer, was about to come back towards the Badger bench, but I think he'll stay outside the boards for now and talking with one of the team physicians. Here's Jack Warniak with a backhand shot that Sadek got his stick on. Baker picks up the loose change. Pressured by Zulsdorf. Badgers want a penalty. Nothing called. Again, only 1 referee because of C.J. Berline's injury. Wisconsin's Baker stick handling. The referee in his way. Wheeling backhand pass to the slot. No one there for Wisconsin. Good work by Brock Caulfield, though, slowing the progress of Novak back to center, and Kalnick will send it in on Shearhorn. And eventually Brent Gates now has it. Kalnick got it back but couldn't bank it out. Sammy Walker back around behind the net to Gates. Pitched it to Sadek. He shoots one. That's wide. Jack Sadek hasn't scored a goal in 22 games. Had an assist last night, though. 3 blocked shots. The Minnesota Wild draft choice. He's got it again. Looking to pass towards the net. Oh, it went off the body, and Lebedev got a piece of it with his blocker. He could sense that it was coming his way and actually reached out. Now a rising shot by Walker. And up over the top of the Badgers cage. 3 seconds left, and that'll do it for period number 2. So shots on goal, 10 for Minnesota in that period. Badgers had 7. Neither team could beat the opposing goaltender.
After a wide open first period, though, both teams tightened things up in the second. The Badgers had half as many shots as they did in the first period. And again, as you might expect, neither coach real happy with the racehorse hockey we saw in the first period. But it's 1-1. 3 points at stake as we go to the third period.
Yeah, both teams had power play chances, 2 power play chances in the second period. Neither team able to convert. So through 2 periods, again, 23 shots on goal for Minnesota, 21 for Wisconsin. Both goaltenders have given up those lone goals. We're going to hear from Wisconsin freshman forward, Savage, Minnesota native Roman Ashan in just a bit to kind of recap this second period. And we'll also hear from Tony Granato coming up during our second intermission. The Badgers and the Golden Gophers are tied at 1. These teams, by the way, will meet again in January at Mariucci Arena in Minnesota. You see Badgers forward Sean Doogie, 6 goals as a freshman last season, 6 goals in 10 games as a sophomore this season. The only one for the Badgers tonight, and he left late in the second period with what appeared to be a right shoulder injury.
Yeah, that's a good sign for Badger fans. He's the leader in the shots tonight with 5 shots on goal, and as you say, has the lone goal. They need him in a big game.
Yep. Badgers have Tischke out on the ice with Josh S. defensively. Mesner, Ashan, and Jason Doogie on the forward line. Minnesota comes out with Sheehy, Pitlick, and Ranta to start the third period. Jason Doogie gives chase, leans into Pitlick, and sweeps the puck to the near side. First man to it, Minnesota native, Wisconsin defenseman Josh S. Out to Doogie, cycles back behind the nets. Calmly tapping the puck from D to D. Sadek to Zulsdorf. Excellent outlet pass. Ranta to Sheehy, and his shot blocked by the backpedaling Keandre Miller. Gophers will get a change here. 45 seconds into the third period. A 1-1 game. Both goals coming in the first period. Both on power plays. McManus 5-on-4 power play at 11:45. Doogie 4-on-3 power play goal at the 18-minute mark. Emberson forced it ahead now to Malone. Wants to work around the defenseman. Now peels back. Anderson wanted a one-timer, but He was pressured by Novak and whacked it to the near side. Miller did a nice job just to settle the puck down and get it deep. Caulfield, Zimmer, Malone. Zimmer goes down. Now pulling the puck free was Blake McLaughlin. Far side to the defenseman Brinkman, and he just threw it out to open ice to center, and the Badgers have it in their own end and then deflected back Minnesota as well.
Biggest crowd of the season here tonight. Well over 11,000. They're looking for an excuse to erupt.
Please. There's Novak across the line. Novak trying to wall off the defender. He wrapped it around and it got inside the right knee of Wisconsin goalie Daniel Lebedev, and then he put his pads together and kept it out of the nets. Good speed that time by River Falls native Tommy Novak.
Yeah, he's the only Wisconsin native on the Minnesota roster. There are 5 Minnesotans wearing the red and white tonight. You met a Sean, which Piper earlier.
69 points for Tommy Novak, 91 career games collegiately, a 26-point season as a junior. Novak, a senior for Bob Motzko's club, which is trying to even its record at 3-3-1. Badgers trying to get back to 500 at 5-5, having lost 4 of the last 5. Walker far side. Doogie got there first and took the puck away. Patiently headmans to Gorniak, chased it down left wing. At the wall to Inamoto, and he tried to shovel it deep, and it was lifted over the glass and out of play. Not off McManus's stick, but Inamoto actually just teed that one up and out of play.
You heard McManus tell Piper how much they enjoy playing in this atmosphere, and Brian gave the stat earlier how they've had great success in this building recently.
Yep.
If the Gophers would win tonight, it would mark back-to-back sweeps for the first time in this series since 1923-24 and 24-25. It's been that long since Minnesota won back-to-back series in Madison.
Yeah, and that was outside ice.
Yeah.
There were no rinks in Madison at that point. Yeah. Andrew Nelson, our director, recalling that I mentioned that Bill Brophy was born just after 1922.
I was a stick boy for that series.
which is dating back to the first time these teams played ice hockey. And yeah, he was not that long ago, really, Bill. Oh, centering pass. Lebedev gets tall in between the pipes on the blast by Jack Ramsey. Oh, excellent setup behind the nets. And Lebedev was on his knees, but then lifted up and squared his shoulders and stoned Jack Ramsey. Now here's S, and he'll fire it down in around the shelf to the far wall. Ashan fights through the contact from Romenko and then ties up Zulsdorf. Shoveled out to the point, and Miller redirected by Mesner just high of the mark over the outstretched glove of Eric Shearhorn. Now Ashan to Doogie. Poke check Romenko. Point though Emerson, and he shattered his stick in half. Ashan gives chase. Sheehy, who's got excellent body control, made the play and walled the puck away from Ashan. Now he's got it and snaps one off over the top of the Badger cage. Gophers get a change. Still 1-1. Who's going to get the next one? Ranta ran into traffic. Miller had it, lifted his head, and lost control of the puck. Pitlick now. Stick handling wide left. Banks it around the wall to Phillips. Sheehy puts it on target, and Lebedev knocked it down with his glove hand, and then the play by Emerson to pitch it out of harm's way to Doogie, and then he just iced the puck. So icing on Jason Doogie. Face off down to the left of Wisconsin goaltender, the Helsinki, Finland native Daniel Lebedev. And here's a hit along the board where Sampo Ranta took a couple of Badgers with him.
A hit there by Mesner, the local kid. One of the 9 Badger freshmen, 8 of whom with Brest tonight.
Yeah. Jason Doogie is among the 7 sophomores on Wisconsin's roster. 16 underclassmen for the Badgers. Minnesota's got its share of freshmen too. In fact, 7 of them, and 13 NHL draft picks on the roster for the maroon and gold. Buck is, go ahead.
Like I said, Gophers lost a good one in Casey Middlestead.
Oh, no kidding.
Signed at the end of last year with the Buffalo Sabres. I think you make the argument he might have benefited from another year at college, but that's the way of the world now.
Yep. There's a chance for Minnesota. Shot by Gates, deflected. Held in by Phillips. Out to the point. Brinkman back door. That deflected off the stick of Seamus Malone. The Badgers, as Sean has it, not only losing Middlestead, who last year had 30 points as a freshman, but also Ryan Lindgren, the sophomore defenseman, signed with the New York Rangers organization. And you add to that losing Mike Spatula and Leon Bristead. Spatula 108 career points, Bristead 98. Oh, Jensen Tite went off of Shearhorn, left the rebound there, but off to the near side. And then Brock Caulfield sets up Zimmer. That shot was blocked. Zimmer again, backhander, tries to sweep it over the top of the left pad of Shearhorn, but he dove out towards the biscuit and able to grab it and hang on. Badgers sniffing around the Gophers net here, trying to get the go-ahead goal. A couple of chances for the Badgers. Loose puck. Caulfield snuck it through Zimmer. Just couldn't lift it up. Excellent back pressure by Brent Gates Jr. Still 1-1 here in Madison. Oh, Santa Claus. What do you think? You have your Christmas list, Bill?
I think we better get ready for Christmas.
Wow. Here's Wisconsin's Tarek Baker. Verona, Wisconsin native. Originally committed to Minnesota. Played it to the point, and Inamoto sends it back deep. Baker hustles after it near side. Low left. Bouncing around a little bit. And eventually pulled free by Ryan Zulsdorf. Zulsdorf. 79 straight games without a goal for the junior defenseman and Tampa Bay Lightning draft choice. Good pressure by Wisconsin's Jack Gorniak to steal the puck from Sadak. And now it deflects right to Zulsdorf, and Ramsey able to stick handle enough to get it around Kalnick and back into the Wisconsin zone. But also by the Badgers as to Kalnick. He comes flying into the offensive zone through 4 Gophers. Sweeps it to the corner, but the Badger forward tied up there, Jared Zerbel. And an excellent outlet pass by McManus to the tape of Burke's stick, and a great pass in front. Lebedev left pad save and a right pad stop on Sammy Walker. Wow, what a sauce by Burke to the tape of Walker's stick, who got the forehander off, then the backhander, and Lebedev twice able to kick the puck out.
Maybe the best save of the third period. Here it is, a redirect and a big save by the Finnish freshman. Great feed.
That was fantastic. Burke, who's playing only second game this season. That was an excellent saucer pass.
Yeah, Burke didn't play last night. In fact, his only appearance was a week ago Friday against Minnesota State.
Emerson out high as Sean. Block shots. Ricocheted free, and the Gophers, Ben Brinkman with it. Lead feed Ranta. Pulls away from pressure. Sampo Ranta thought about shooting. Works free. He does now. Pitlick went off his stick up into the air. Nobody knew where it was, and Sampo Ranta saw the flight of the biscuit and kept with it. To Brinkman now, pressured a bit by Ashawn and then sent to the corner. Wisconsin's Keandre Miller there first, and now the Badgers tap it out. Ashawn to Doogie, sweeps it past the defenseman Brinkman. Jason Doogie hits the brakes in the corner now, looking for some help. Zimmer almost lifted the stick of Brinkman to win the puck free, but it's played out to the far side. Kalnick's now got it for Wisconsin. Long-range shot over the head of everybody.
Got Doogie on this line because Merch was ejected or received a game disqualification in a 5-minute major in the first period. So Doogie filling in with Ashawn and Mesner.
Sheehy can't run down the puck, and now it's banked by Kalnick off the body of Sheehy and over the glass and into the second row of bleachers here at the Kohl Center. 12.5 minutes to play in the third, still 1-1.
And the Badgers on the road the next 2 weekends. Conference play. Gophers go home to play St. Lawrence.
Yeah. First series this season for the Gophers, or games this season for the Gophers, that against teams that are not nationally ranked. And then it's actually the first of 6 straight at Mariucci for Minnesota, with Michigan State and Ohio State there at the end of November and then early December. So 2 power play goals in the first period. That's been it so far. Badgers have only 1 shot on goal in the first 8 minutes of this period, although they've had some pressure down on this end. Malone trying to work through Novak and got tripped up, it appeared. Novak got his stick between his skates. The lone referee remaining, Brian Aaron, did not call anything. Here's Wyatt Kalnick now for the Badgers. And if you're joining us late and you only see one man with orange stripes on his sleeves, the referee C.J. Burline went down in a heap after a collision in the first period. and actually remained in the game and appeared to have a smile on his face for a while, but did not return for the second period nor the third. So Brian Aaron is the only referee on the ice tonight with the two linesmen.
No, it's up to him to determine. Man, it looks like he's going to let the teams play here in the third period.
Yeah. And nothing, out of the ordinary or vicious or anything like that. It's
9 penalties in the first 2 periods. But yeah, this is not a series that has been full of chippy play.
No. Wisconsin's Emberson with it and got pressured a little bit. Almost lost the puck, but Gorniak got there, pulled it away from Ramsey. Stepping up the defenseman Denman to slow Gorniak's progress, and then Ramsey back checking, picked up the puck. Although the Badgers steal, Baker now with it, low left, centering pass. Unfortunately for Baker, it goes to a Golden Gopher, Ryan Norman. He's able to bank it ahead off the kick plate, intended for Romenko, but the Badgers possess. Here's Keandre Miller, drop past Baker, not in his wheelhouse, couldn't catch it cleanly. Baker tumbles over Romenko, and we play on. 10:55 to go here in the third period. Lead feed. Ramsey plays it off the stick of Kalnick and dumps it in. He needs a change. Lebedev will sweep it around. Off the reach of Wyatt Kalnick. Fry tag with Johnson and Zerbel now. Puck pops free to McManus. Pulls it towards the Badger cage. Lebedev out of position. And Burke got to it from below the goal line left and shot one off the side of the cage. Lebedev was slow to get back between the pipes there. Badgers send it in. Zerbel can't beat Brinkman to it. Gophers have it. Cross ice McManus. Couldn't catch that pass, and now Kalnick back to Tyler Inamoto.
It's the first period when it was wide open. Minnesota's done a good job.
Jason Doogie down low. Shearhorn made the stop. Rebound was there. Whacked at by Wisconsin's Ashan, but it got knocked out of harm's way.
He's done a good job clogging the neutral zone and stacking the blue line, and really affected the Badgers' transition there.
Yep. That's now head man for Ashan, off his stick to Doogie. Hands off Mesner. Dick Mesner, former Madison Capital, had his shot blocked by Sadak. Out to S. He steps in, scores! Josh S. 2-1 Wisconsin.
First goal of the year for the Lakeville, Minnesota. And you think that's special to him? Shot from way out, and Shearhorn must have been screened. I think it surprised him, but the Badgers will take it. They lead for the first time tonight with 9:40 left in regulation.
So Josh S., who last year scored a couple of goals as a freshman, gets his first in 10 games as a sophomore. Mesner to the point, and S with his head up, able to beat Shearhorn blocker side. A 2-1 Wisconsin lead.
I think Ashan took his eyes away in front.
And now the Badgers try for more. Malone with it, sweeps it in front. Oh, a chance for Zimmer, but he was tied up just at the last moment by Ryan Zulsdorf. Minnesota now behind for the first time tonight. Looking back door. Oh, a big collision in front of the Minnesota or the Wisconsin cage, as it looked like McLaughlin was trying to handle that bouncing pass cross ice and got swallowed up. As for Mesner, the only assist, and it came here in the third period about midway through at the 10:20 mark. And so for Josh S., the go-ahead goal and a 2-1 Wisconsin lead. For Mesner, his first career assist with the Wisconsin Badgers. You mentioned he's got to feel good about it because he's a Minnesota native. Here's Gates now with it, sweeps the puck to the trailer, and a shot that was blocked by Ty Emerson off the stick of Jack Ramsey. Well, as last weekend was -5 at North Dakota, including -4 in the series opening 5-0 loss to the Golden Gophers. And he's a much better defenseman than what that -5 may show. Oh, nice blocked shot or saved by Lebedev, who came out to block that shot from the top of his crease on the setup in the left circle. And now a delayed penalty coming up on Minnesota's Ryan Norman, and the Badgers' Keandre Miller tries to walk to the defenseman. Brinkman does. Oh, he almost scooped it past Shearhorn. Loose puck far side. Eventually the whistle blows, stopping play. Oh, Keandre Miller almost dazzled us with a move around the Gophers' defense. Nevertheless, a penalty coming up on Minnesota's Ryan Norman, which will give Wisconsin a power play. Just a few moments ago, Wisconsin, which trailed early and then was able to rally to tie, now has the lead for the first time and looking for more when we come back. 2-1 Wisconsin lead here in Madison. 8:10 to play. Penalty on Ryan Norman for boarding at 11:50 gives the Badgers their 4th power play of the night. Josh S. happy that he was able to give Wisconsin the lead, but now here's Tommy Novak shorthanded with Sheehy. Sauce pass across. Sheehy couldn't get it on target. That was a pretty nice play. An excellent hustle by Sheehy to give the Gophers a chance shorthanded. Minnesota's penalty kill has been very, very good this season, and a shorthanded goal so far. And Sheehy will try to give the Gophers 2, and he hit the far side post. Oh, a shot that came back by Romenko and bounced off a Badger and wide. And now Sheehy flings one towards the net, missed the cage, and it comes off the far corner all the way out through neutral ice, and the Gophers will control.
Almost a costly turnover by Miller, and Sheehy almost made him pay.
Wow. Badgers will try on the power play. 1 power play goal this weekend for Wisconsin. That was a 4-on-3. The 5-on-4 man advantage has been unsightly at times. And now Kalnick with a wrister from long range. Shearhorn just gloves it and hangs on. Take a look at Tyler Sheehy.
Just after the turnover by Miller, Sheehy with the lone break, and everybody in the Kohl Center wearing red held their breath. They did iron.
McManus went blocker side high on Daniel Lebedev in the first period on a power play goal that gave Minnesota a 1-0 lead, and Sheehy tried to beat him in the exact same spot. Now the referee Brian Aaron is going to take a look at video replay. I'm wondering if the Gophers want to just make sure that puck didn't go into the net, but certainly didn't look like it to me.
No,
I'm not sure what they're checking here, but
well, I think it's the play we just saw where Sheehy draw through iron.
Yeah, I mean, they're just checking to see if it went into that, but it didn't appear that way.
Here it is again, and this will be the cue that will determine it.
Yep. Clear. That was clear.
Shouldn't take long, I wouldn't think.
No, unless they're looking at something else.
But it gives both teams, special teams, an opportunity to rest halfway through this. The 4th power play of the night for Wisconsin. Minnesota also 1 for 4 in the power play. But yeah, this, whatever the reviewing is getting an extensive review.
Yeah. Well, Brian Aaron apparently has seen what he needs to see. Maybe he just needed somebody to consult with, considering his partner C.J. Berline has been banged up. Yeah, he just waves off the goal, and that was again clear from the naked eye and then on video replay. But doing his job. Here's Tony Granato. 1:02 left on the power play. Badgers trying to add to their 2-1 lead, and even their Big Ten record at 1-1. Gophers won the faceoff though and sent it all the way down. So this power play unit for the Badgers: Emberson and S, Doogie, Sean, Gorniak, and Baker. S up the middle, now Baker left wing. Shearhorn tries to stop and leaves it accidentally for Gorniak. To the point now in Emberson. Head up, takes a look. Now Josh S. Back to Emberson. Goal line Doogie. Open man to Baker, and he chipped it wide. Emberson again. What's he going to do? Gorniak, S. This is the most offensive zone possession time the Badgers have had on a 5-on-4 power play all night.
Yeah, they've been able to have much zone time at all, and they need the power plays this weekend.
10 seconds remaining in the man advantage. S far side Baker. Looking, back to S. He scored the last one, tries to set up Emberson for the next one, and that's blocked by Sadek. And he's going to need all kinds of ice bags when he heads back on the bus to Minnesota.
Yeah, you can see that one hurt him. He had 5 blocks in the first 2 periods.
Wisconsin's power plays expired. Now 1 for 4 on the night. Under 6 minutes to go. 2-1 Wisconsin on Josh S.'s go-ahead goal at the 10:20 mark. Here's Sampo Ranta, man wide open backside. Didn't see him until too late, and then as he wristed one towards the cage, Josh S. got his stick in the way, and it sails into the nets.
Look at Ranta, 3rd-round draft choice of the Colorado Avalanche, and he can shoot the puck.
Yeah, 78th overall pick, 23 goals, 37 points, 53 games with Luke Strand's club in Sioux City a year ago. Here's Emberson, and that shot hit right up near the left elbow of Jack Sadek, and that one hurt. He was looking at the Gopher bench, realizing he needed some attention by the time he got there. There's Wisconsin up ahead. Roman Ashawn. Tyler Nanny slows him down. Loose puck. Oh, Jason Doogie had a chance off balance, but shot it wide. And then Ashawn from near the crease pushed it right through the blue paint. By the way, give Jason Doogie an assist on S's go-ahead goal at 10:20. Primary helper to Mick Mesner. 5:20 left in the third. Badgers Mesner with the puck. Pass to Doogie. Didn't get through. Loose, and look out. We've got a whistle and a hand pass. Could have been a 3-on-2, but play is stopped. 5:15 left in the third period.
No biting time here. Coach Granado going to shorten his bench. You're going to see a lot of Ranta, Pitlick, and Sheehy for Minnesota.
Pitlick, the USHL Player of the Year in 2016 with the Muskegon Lumberjacks. Scored the game-tying goal last night. And the Gophers had possession but lost it. And now Matthew Freitag stick handled through traffic and then tried to chase it down. He's got it in the corner. Freitag's earned more playing time tonight. So is Jared Zerbel and Will Johnson with their combination. Johnson, Freitag. Oh, good look, but Freitag couldn't get the shot on goal. They have slid off or underneath his stick. And now back through neutral ice. Matthews got it again. Freitag looking. Trailer open. Zerbel shoots. Oh, fantastic. Waffler saved by Eric Shearhorn. Here comes Minnesota needing one to tie. Backpedaling into the offensive zone. Gates. He whips one wide and off the corner wall and past the linesman at the blue line and back into the Minnesota zone. Shearhorn with a very good blocker save a moment ago. He came up short 2-1 in his 100th career start last Saturday in a loss to Minnesota State. Played well here tonight. Malone chips it to the far wall. Gates keeps it alive in the attacking zone for the Golden Gophers. Now Malone tries to cancel out Gates in the corner. Puck popped free. Emerson tried to lob it out of the zone. No luck. Gophers have it. Zulsdorf shot, and that was off the body to the near corner. 4 minutes left. 2-1 Wisconsin advantage, trying to get a series split to start the Big Ten season. Lead feed intended for Zimmer off the stick. Shearhorn out of his net. And he'll send it around to the far side, and Gates lets it go for Ben Brinkman. That man's Walker. It is quick, and he tried to go backdoor to McLaughlin, but Miller right there, and then Miller ties up McLaughlin, carries him into the corner wall. No penalty. Malone with it now, and Doogie, Sean Doogie, just offside with 3:34 to play. Seamus Malone, he is alternate captain for the Wisconsin Badgers. Excellent passing. Matthew Freitag, Jared Zerbel, the Green Bay native, tried to make it 3-1, but a big stop by Eric Shearhorn. Don't go anywhere. A one-goal game here in Madison. The student crowd the Badgers have had so far this season, working their way into the second tier at the Kohl Center. 2-1 Wisconsin lead. Under 4 minutes to play. Wisconsin's Wyatt Kalnick sends it in. Shearhorn leaves off for Sadek. He's back for more after taking puck off his body tonight. Lakeville North state champion in 2015. Here's Rem Pitlick now for Minnesota. Almost got it through to Sampo Ranta, who ran into the goaltender Daniel Lebedev, and then Sampo into the end boards, and I think he's okay. He rolled over and kind of grabbed his head there for a moment. Lebedev wondering why no penalty was called. Hard charging play towards the Badgers cage.
Here's what Lebedev is questioning. Ranta going hard in the net, and the two Finnish players who almost were teammates collide.
That's just good hard hockey that time, and Miller got in the way of the pass back door to Ranta, and I'm not sure if Sampo Ranta had a chance to stop. And by the way, Lebedev was pretty much out of his crease anyway.
Coach Granado also wanting to know why they weren't protecting the goaltender.
Remember last night, it was Ty Emberson who cross-checked Sheehy into Daniel Lebedev that led to Minnesota's first goal, and then shortly thereafter the Gophers' second goal, and shortly thereafter their third goal, and it went from a 2-0 Wisconsin lead to a 3-2 Gophers win. Brent Gates Jr. just had his stick lifted out of his hands. He wanted a penalty called. Nothing though from Brian Aaron.
Gates had done the same to the Badger player. His sticks went flying into the yard sale all of a sudden.
Yep. 2.5 to play. Miller, Ashawn, and he tried to snap one off but left the puck where he had it, and now it's Chipped around, good play by Doogie to keep it alive. Here's Miller now with a head of steam across the line. He shoots one shouldered away by Shearhorn. Novak between the legs. Nicely done to Gates. 2-on-2. Lob pass ahead. Walker tied up by Zerbel. Good strong play by Jared Zerbel at that time. And the Badgers' Wyatt Kalnick has it. Will Johnson can't catch. Freitag, though, reaches and bats it down deep. 2 minutes left. 2-1 Wisconsin lead. Gophers snapped a 3-game losing streak last night with a 3-2 come-from-behind win. Badgers try to snap a 3-game losing streak tonight, leading 2-1 after trailing 1-0 about halfway through the first.
An offensive zone face-off for the Badgers with 1:53 left, so Motzko can't get his goaltender out yet. Badgers doing a good job in the forecheck there, keeping the puck in the end they need. Shearhorn, who's looking to the bench to get some instructions from Motzko. Motz telling right there how he wants things to go. Garrett LeBoyne, his longtime assistant at St. Cloud, came with him to Minnesota.
Face-off won by the Gophers. Tyler Nanny will lob it up towards the blue line. Gophers offside. Sheehy brought it down as he straddled the blue line, but two of his teammates had already crossed, so he'll drop the puck back in the Minnesota zone on that 3-line offside.
And that's a break for the Badgers as the puck comes all the way to the other end to the right of Shearhorn.
Bob Motzko coaching the best he can.
I don't know who's
got
a
voice
worse.
he has.
Gonna say who's got a worse voice going, you or Motzko?
Oh, I think we could exchange. Yeah.
Cough lozenges.
Yeah, right. Cough lozenges, tea, honey, whatever we can get. Bouncing puck rolls in front of the Minnesota nets, and it's picked up now by Pitlick. Cross ice. Here comes Shearhorn out of his net. Ranta's shot off the stick of Peter Tischke and out of play. And now Tischke barking with Ranta. And a smile exchanged by both. We'll drop the puck inside the Wisconsin zone. 1:33 left. Shearhorn off for an extra attacker, and I would assume that Bob Motzko is going to take a timeout here, and he will. Well, good response by the Wisconsin Badgers. You know, last night they did play pretty well for 45, 50 minutes, maybe more, and felt like they let one get away. They went into shell shock after Minnesota scored the original goal on a delayed penalty, and then another one, 74 seconds apart. By the time they recovered, they put a lot of pressure on Minnesota last night, fired 13 shots on goal in the third, but Matt Robson stood tall. And then tonight, falling behind 1-0, all kinds of weird stuff happening early on, but the Badgers tie it on a power play goal from Sean Doogie, and then here in the third, go-ahead goal by Josh S. midway through, and that's where we stand, a 2-1 game.
Yeah, Wisconsin played well enough to win last night, to be sure, but Robson was good late. He had half of his 30 saves in the third period when Wisconsin rallied, looking for the equalizer. It never came. Tonight's been a similar game. These are pretty evenly matched clubs. I don't think there's any doubt about it if you watch the 58 minutes we've seen.
Yeah, and last night, too.
And I think both will change by the time they have the rematch in Minneapolis. I think they'll be different clubs. They'll have more of an identity than they do right now early in this Big Ten conference season.
Gophers picked to finish 4th in the Big Ten this season. Wisconsin picked to finish 6th. Daniel Lebedev, freshman goaltender, out near the top of his crease. Face off to his right. Seamus Malone. No, Tarek Baker takes the draw. Won by Minnesota. Extra attacker for the Gophers looking for the tying goal. Gates fires one blocker side. Missed the net. And too strong of a shot. It goes off the corner wall and all the way back into the Minnesota zone. And Pitlick has to hustle after it. Here's Phillips. Pitlick, Walker. Gates, Sheehy kicks it to his stick. Novak trailing. Shot by Sheehy into the belly of Daniel Lebedev, and he hangs on. 1:08 to play. Shots on goal even at 31 now up on the Kohl Center scoreboard. A 2-1 Badgers lead.
She's one of the go-to guys for this club. You know he's going to be on the ice at crunch time, as is Novak. Border battle is always nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah. Fun, though. Fun to prepare for, to think about. No matter how you may be involved as a broadcaster, a fan, coach, or a player. Or a referee, as Tony Granato said. Here's Gates, one-timer, blocked by Wisconsin's Kalnick. 55 seconds to play. He ties up Walker, but can't clear. Behind the net, Sheehy, open man. A rising shot by Pitlick missed the net. Put a dent into the end boards. Now Novak with it. He tried to sauce one in front. Loose puck still. Tishke tried to reach and clear. Could not. Pitlick stick save. Oh, big stop again by Lebedev on the rebound. And he covers it up. Oh, Tishke tried to push it ahead and clear. Pitlick, though, picked it up and fired one. And Lebedev stopped it with his stick, I believe, and then covered up in tight on Shee's rebound attempt.
Lebedev pretty fired up after this save. Gophers get good pressure. Here's the shot by Pitlick. And we Shee fencing with Tishke.
Face off to Lebedev's right. Gophers won the draw. They swing it out top. Phillips mishandled. Poke free. Badgers after it. Jack Gorniak. To the net goes Doogie. Gorniak comes in and scores. First goal as a Badger will seal the win for Wisconsin. Jack Gorniak gives the Badgers a 3-1 lead.
Pride of West Salem ices his son for Wisconsin. He's got the good wheels. He used them there. Made sure he got in close before he fired in the empty netter to clinch what appears to be the Badgers' first Big Ten Conference win of the season and secure a series split in the border battle.
A high school All-American, according to USA Today. Wisconsin's Mr. Hockey a year ago from West Salem Bangor High School. Excellent hustle by Jack Gorniak. And he gets the first goal of his career, an empty netter at the 17:26 mark, and Wisconsin's got a 3-1 advantage. Eric Shearhorn back between the pipes for Minnesota. It appears he's going to be a tough luck loser for the second straight Saturday night. And now look out. Wow, right in front. Sliding play by Lebedev as Brinkman missed the net. And then again, the Badgers slide through the crease. Romenko couldn't pick it up. 2 seconds left, and the Badgers get that victory. And now a little skirmish as Ramsey got tied up with an Emoto. Freitag comes over to help his teammate out. The referees, the 3 remaining, try to separate the Badgers and the Gophers. Well, intense hockey this weekend. Minnesota won last night 3-2. The Badgers win tonight with an empty netter 3-1. Tony Granato, Bob Motzko shake hands, as the rest of the coaching staff do as well. And the student section's out tonight to watch the Badgers take home the victory.
Big win for the Badgers, snapping a 3-game losing streak again with 4 in the road coming up. They needed one right here, and they got a hard-fought weekend series. Last night, the Gophers take a 1-goal win. Tonight, the Badgers come back with 2 third-period goals by S. and Gorniak and secure the split 3-1.
It was fun to watch here tonight. Daniel Lebedev celebrating a victory with Mark Strobel, fellow freshman Keandre Miller. Lebedev big tonight. Badgers victorious 3-1 the final. We'll wrap things up in a moment.